They'll lynch you, but he did, and he laughs at
Yes, everybody, Russ and West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. So great news about Cornet being signed. And not only that, but we had a great chat. We had a nice sit down with Sinks. And we're going to play that interview we had with Trevor Sinclair earlier today. We've not put all of it, because some of it we're going to have for the preview of the Man City game, which will be on later on tonight. I don't know exactly what time. Sorry, Anton. But make sure you hit the bell notification so you're made aware of any time we put new content on. We'll also play again all the videos we've had recently from the likes of Stuart, Slater, Robbie Slater, West Ham clips, Kenny Brown, CASS as well. But I thought what we'll do is we'll start with the interview we had with Trevor Sinclair. So this is just a snippet. It's not the full interview. It's about a 10-minute clip. And as I said, we've got 5 or 6 minutes for the preview later on tonight. So I hope you enjoy it. In terms of obviously being an ex-player, you know, kicking off a new season, were you guys as excited each season came along as the fans are? I'm buzzing to get going.
I think if you've had a pre-season where you know there's no stone unturned and you've done everything and you're prepared and you feel confident and you just feel ready for it. I think when you're in that situation, which I was quite a bit in my season, really, really excited. Can't wait to get going. Can't wait for the fixture list to be released, and then when it is released, you're just zoning in on that first day kickoff and making sure that you are tip top for that game. So really excited for the players as well.
Yeah, and obviously for you guys, for Talk Sport, obviously you're not going to be still talking about transfers, but at least you've got some games to talk about as well, which is probably just as important because it's the same transfer rooms seem to be happening all the time, man.
But it has been busy though, so it's been moving along. Obviously with Chelsea, they've got a lot of work to do. Tottenham went in early doors and got some really good signings. I was impressed with the work that Daniel Levy and Antonio Conte got through. And obviously the big one from a Manchester City point of view was the Haaland. You know, we knew about it quite a while ago, but when it got released and the press that went with it and the different media bits they did, I thought that was pretty exciting. It's been one club to another, but there's been a lot of business, and the latest we'll just see Cucurella looks like he's completed with Chelsea, 60 million plus. So I mean that's a ridiculous amount of money for a fullback, and people say that it's Manchester City that ruined football, spending so much money. I think their transfers that they brought in have been really reasonable when you think about the price they've got Haaland for and some of the other players.
Yeah, and I think in terms of City, as you said, Haaland and Calvin Phillips, and the one I'm most excited about is Alves because we were looking at him when he was at River Plate, and I think he's going to be like a generational star. You've got this sort of, with like particularly like Alves and maybe Nunez, and sort of these types of players. And then the next one at the moment is Mbappe and Haaland and people like that.
Of course, yeah.
I think next one's going to be Alves and Nunez. It's going to be brilliant. But obviously West Ham have been busy. And we signed a striker, more importantly. Hey! Only been 1,107 days or something since we last side one, which is crazy. But we've done some good business. I think we've obviously Areola's come in, we've made that permanent. Naya Figuered, obviously unfortunately injured, but I thought it's a good signing. Flynn Downs from Swansea, Scamacca and Cornet as well. I mean, we're recording this just before I think he's going to be announced, but we'll assume he's playing. If not, I'll cut it out. So it doesn't matter.
Correct, yeah. And there's rumours about Onana. I mean, I know there's rumours with Onana that he might be going to Everton as well. They're interested, but getting Cornet, I think, over the line is a big thing because I thought he was good last season when he was fit. I thought, goal return, 9 goals for Burnley, especially in that Burnley side where, that they weren't one of the teams that had a lot of possession. I thought that's a great return. And if you look at our side, we get loads of goals from the right-hand side with Bowen. Obviously, you've got Antonio down the middle. But down the left, I think we did lack goals. I know they supply for Antonio and for Bowen, but I think we could do with getting some more goals down that left-hand side. And I think that's what you'll get with Maxwell Cornet. And I think it's a really good signing. 17.5 million buyout clause. I think a good price to get someone who's efficient and competent in the Premier League as a forward player. So again, David Moyes swimming the channel and bringing in great signings. I think the only one we a little bit disappointed in was Aguirre, to come in and be given. I mean, some of the people that were talking really big things about him when he came in, I was really excited. And then for him to get that unfortunate accident against Rangers, which was one of them innocuous injuries as well. It didn't look like it was going to be anything. And then obviously the scan reveals he's going to be out for a while. But no, exciting transfer off season it's been for West Ham. And yeah, I'm excited to see how they do this season, because I definitely feel they can at least equal and possibly supersede what they achieved last season.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, because of obviously being in Europe again, I think we know how to navigate, I think, working in Europe, and because it is a new thing to learn, but also not just for the players, but I think for the fans as well, not having it costs a lot of money, but also, I like a roast on a Sunday, Trevor, I'll be honest. We don't get that. We don't get it this season, hopefully. But as Paul Merson said, I remember once saying shit teams play on a Saturday rather. And so it's the price of succeeding, isn't it, in Europe?
Of course it is. And that's why the squad needs to be enhanced, which it has been. Especially in the areas where you're talking about the spine of the team, central midfield. We've got young boy Flynn Downs, centre half, Aguirre, and then obviously Scamacca, who's come in recently, who looks really exciting, 23-year-old, looks a bit of a machine, bit of a heartthrob for the girls. So I think the Hammerettes will be happy about that, or the former Hammerettes.
Should bring them back in. Trev. I used to remember. I used to remember they used to warm up in my box, so to speak. That sounds really weird. They used in the announcements box. They used to warm up.
First answer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Actually, one of the girls that works at Talksport, Daisy, she's an ex-Hammerette, so she's
it's so funny having to watch and see they're doing all the things, and bless them. But yeah, I mean it's great, and obviously to get someone like Scamacca in, and as you said with someone like Cornet and his delivery into the box, he's 6'5". 23. He's an under 9. He's Italian number 9 already. 16 goals in the Serie A. I think it's and he seems to just get it. He interviewed with James Richardson. Sort of the old Football Italia guy, and the club did it. It was brilliant. It's brilliant. Really, really good. And I think he introduced himself.
There's a legacy here, isn't there? I think when you look at Paolo and what the legacy from that Italian connection.
Yeah,
I think it's outstanding that he understands that. And listen, if he plays half as well as Paolo played for West Ham, we've got a steal even at 30-odd million, because he is at 6'5" as well. It gives us another layer. If you're struggling to play out and teams are pressing high, you can go a little bit more direct. I'm not saying lump it, but a good pass into him, and just his physical presence will be able to shield the ball, not even let the defender see the ball, shield it, wait for some support, and then play off that. And I think obviously Antonio did that really well. But to ask him to play game after game after game is difficult. And then when you did rest him, we didn't look a shadow of ourselves as a side. So now we've got two players, and he can even go to a 3-5-2 or, change it up where he's got two strikers. So it just gives David a lot more options for the team. I think there's a lot more competition for places, and obviously rotation with us playing in Europa Conference. It means that we can rotate and still have good players instead of, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we did have to bring the kids in a few times last season, and I thought they did superbly well. But yeah, ideally, you don't want to put them in a position where there's 6 or 7 of them in the same team.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think with someone like Scamacca, I think, there's, and it yourself, I mean, there's certain, and we talk about, obviously Di Canio and stuff like that, but certain players who just understands what it's like to be, so that sort of connection between West Ham and the player themselves, the fans and the player. I mean, I think when James first interviewed him, I think his first thing was, he said, "All right, my old China." You know what I mean? It's like brilliant.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, it's brilliant. And listen, we hear Klopp speaking about Liverpool and him understanding the city, and Pep, and different players really buying into the culture of that football club. And I think that's what Scamacca's going to do. He's going to enjoy his pie mashing liquor. He's going to enjoy the old Cockney rhymes, and more power to him. And the more he does that, the more the fans will love him. And I think when he is having a bad time, they'll get behind him and support him even more.
Yeah, and as I said, I think having spent over 1,000 days not signing a strike and getting one in, I think West Ham are just the fans are just crazy for him, just to get a striker in. Do you know what I mean?
How expensive is it though if you bring the wrong one in? We've seen Haaland come in, and
that's the
bless
trouble.
him, hope he's well. Obviously medically, his health's everything, so I hope he recovers from that. But he just wasn't a right fit, and then he went to Ajax, to Ajax. He was brilliant, and now he's earned a move to Borussia Dortmund, but with us, it just wasn't the right fit, and maybe the Premier League was down the road for him, if he goes again. But so I think it's important when you have had your fingers burnt like we had with Haaland. It was a lot of money and it didn't work out, but yeah, I'm pleased he's doing well, and I'm pleased we've waited for the right man, and let's hope Scamacca is the right man.
I think that's the case, mate. I think Moyes knows that it's a key signing, and so he has to take his time.
It's a reflection of him, isn't it, as well? If he gets it wrong, then it's on his shoulders.
Totally.
So, yeah, he needed to make sure it was the right one. And I don't know much about him. I know he's physical. I know he scores goals. I know he's a good-looking boy, and he's got quite a lot of tattoos. But apart from that, I don't know much about his game, so I'm going to be really intrigued to see one of his starts, if he's fit to start, and he looks like he's physically ready to play in the Premier League, or if he gets some game time. But I just want to see what his relationship like with the boys, with the fans, and just see what he looks like. When you see a player come out, even if he's on the bench, you can sense he's got an aura around him with the way that he acts. So yeah, really intrigued to see how he gets on.
Yeah, me too, man. I think he's going to be an absolute. Well, I just think he's, as you said, he seems to have it all. If that makes sense, he can be a backboard, but also he turns and runs, and I think you'll see a few entries, a goal of the month this season from him. He likes a shot outside the box, which
he's got a creative mind.
Got a bit about him as well, so I think he's going to be all right. And him and Cornet and Bowen, and I think it's a really special group of people. In terms of the season ahead, what would you think would be a good season for West Ham next season?
I think a good season is top 8. Yeah. I think, if we finish 8th, there'll be a tinge of disappointment, because I think the fact that we've finished top 8 this season, or 7th this season, or last season, I feel we've improved the squad. And therefore, really, if you've improved as much as everyone else, then you should at least finish the same. So I'd like to think we can finish in Europe. But if it clicks, then it's another kettle of fish. It could be very, very exciting, because we've been in and around it. I think last season we were top 4 for 97 days or something like that. So we were realistic candidates for a Champions League finish. Just again, the depth in squad and injuries at the wrong time and having to rest players, I think it got the better of us. And we went quite deep into Europa League. I think that's a massive plus point for the boys. But we needed to strengthen. We've done that. Let's see if we can improve on last season. So I think anything on last season is a massive bonus.
Good morning all. It's Stuart Slater here. Looking forward to the up and coming season. Obviously West Ham this year, looking forward to it. Last 2 seasons have been great. I think if we can still maintain 7th, 8th and 9th, I think that would be a fantastic season still. Obviously, got some new blood in. Lost a few players, but hopefully Lady Moyes will produce his magic and get us in that sort of top 8. Going on to the cups, I'd like to think that we could get a good cup run. Always the FA Cup is a fantastic one, no matter what, the nostalgic that we've got there. So I'd like to see us get to the quarters, maybe the same with the Carabao Cup, albeit blood a few more youngsters, with the youngsters coming through, and some of the lads that we've got coaching the boys down there, the old West Ham boys. I think the future's great, so hopefully we could blood a few youngsters and give them a run and see what they've got, and hopefully we can go quite a way that route. With the conference, Europa Conference, I see no reason why we can't emulate what we did in the Europa one. Semi-final would be fantastic. It was a great time. Those evenings on a Thursday night over at the London Stadium, memories that we're going to hold on for a long time. So let's be upbeat, positive, and have a great season, all you West Ham fans. Take care now. All the best. Bye.
Morning, Russ. Kenny Brown here. And it's that time of the year that we've got to give our predictions for the coming season. Obviously, we kick off in, 48 hours. And what a massive game that is against the champions, Manchester City. I know everyone's buzzing for the game and really looking forward to it. So, predictions for the season. Obviously, with the window still open, it's always difficult to tell. But I'm going that in the Premier League, I'm looking at a top 7 finish for West Ham. I still think we're going to do some business, and I think we're going to start the season well and carry on the work that we've done over the last 2 seasons. So, yeah, I'm going for top 7. Hopefully we can sneak into that top 6. Cups, then obviously we look at the FA Cup. As everyone, I'd love us to win it. I'd love us to get to the final again. It seems so long ago, you know, that we all went to the Millennium Stadium to watch us against Liverpool. But I'd love us to get into the latter rounds of the FA Cup. And then who knows? The Carabao Cup, it's always difficult because of the squads that are put out and obviously where the European games fall. I'm not predicting us to go too far in the Carabao Cup. I think it's just a good time to blood the youngsters in that. So, so good run in the FA Cup. Not too well in the Carabao Cup, but who knows? And then obviously the European campaign. After last season, how can we not want to go any further? I think it's a fantastic competition. Everyone loved it. It kept the season going. And I think for us, we can only look and hope that we can mirror what we've done last season, and who knows, go one step further. So I'm predicting strong runs in the FA Cup and in Europe, and it would be brilliant to get into the final. So all in all, I think we're going to have a good season ahead of us. Take care and see you soon.
Hey Irons fans, I'm looking ahead to West Ham season, capping a little bit what happened last season. What a great season for West Ham. Up until spring in the top 4 and fell away a little bit, I think, with the commitments, depth of squad, Europa League, etc. But it was a terrific season. Sort of took the place of Leicester as that team that were challenging the top 6 clubs, if we can say, in Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, Manchester United and Arsenal. And you look at that top 6, they're going to be difficult to crack this season, but some great signings in the off-season. Top of the list, of course, is the Italian striker Scamacca. He's going to take a bit of pressure off, well, a lot of pressure off really. Antonio up front and banging in the goals. Got a good balanced squad. You know, one of the biggest things in this transition from last season to this season, of course, the retirement of Mark Noble, absolute living legend for West Ham. But there are still, you know, guys that have been there for a while, Cresswell in particular, you've got Fornells, who's quality, I think. So I'm thinking Newcastle, with all their money, richest club in the world now, will be, you would think, challenging as well. Look at their end to the season, last season. Of course, Leicester under Brendan Rodgers will be under pressure to do better with them. But also the big news was keeping Declan Rice. What a player. Nobody works harder than Declan Rice. Of course, he's wanted by the big clubs. He's still only 23. And it's just, don't worry about where he might go next year. Just enjoy him while West Ham, or we've got him. Former player, I'm always following West Ham. I hope it's going to be a great season. So for me, it's see you later, Robbie Slater.
My predictions for West Ham United this season, 22-23. Premier League wise, he was on such a good roll last season, and it's great we kept our players. So I fancy we'll have a good go for that top 6. Top 4, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Man City. Man United transitional, so I think the best we can do is 5th. I think we're good enough for 5th. I think hit the form of last season, consistency with the new players improving us. The worst we're going to do is 7th. I think really it's a battle between Tottenham, Man United and West Ham for 5, 6 and 7.
What about Conference League?
Conference League, I don't get me started on that. What's all that about? Like CASS, they play the final in someone's back garden. I just thought names of teams on joking. The T-Bob Cup. I thought we'd won, so I got back to England and told 3 other teams won as well, the same final. So don't get started with conference. I think it's so damaging to our league position.
Right, what about the FA Cup?
FA Cup, I was on the old school generation. We always used to thought the FA Cup were good every 5 years. That's a long time now, but hey, we've got the right strikers on. It's only 6 games. The thing with the FA Cup, we always get low teams, dodgy, you know, giant killers, and the camera's always there because you know the reason why. So I'm never confident in the FA Cup. I used to be.
Right, what about the Carabao Cup?
Carabao Cup, if anything, really, my heart, I think if we're going to win something this season, we'll win that. Because you ain't got none of these giant killing teams in there. And the big teams play their reserves, don't they? So it's another one, it's only 6 games. And I think that's the best chance we've got to win something. I know Moisey likes puts his full teams out there in the cup matches. Domestic clubs. So I like that kind of thing from management.
Hello you lovely viewers of the West Ham Network YouTube channel. How are we doing? Russ has asked me to give my West Ham predictions for the upcoming season. Now, I'm actually going to go one step further and tell you exactly what's going to happen. So, if you don't want any spoilers, mute the video for the next minute or so. This is also assuming we sign a few more players. So, I'll start with the League Cup, where, unfortunately we'll go out around the quarter-finals again, but we'll knock out one of the big boys again, probably on penalties, especially if Fabianski is going to be the cup keeper this year. In terms of the FA Cup, I think about the same. We'll give it a good go, but come unstuck around the quarters, or round of 16. Now, a lot of people are expecting us to do well in the Conference League, but it is definitely a lot tougher than people are giving it credit for, and we'll do well to make the semi-finals. However, we're not making it to the semi-finals, because we're gonna go all the way, and win the whole competition. We're gonna ruin Unai Emery's evening in Prague, as Gianluca Scamacca and Thomas Souček get on the score sheet in the Conference League final. Now, that's fantastic, isn't it? Silverware, and automatic qualification for the Europa League? Well, that's not even the best part, because we're leapfrogging Chelsea on the last game of the season, to finish 4th in the Barclays. Thomas Tuchel is going to be absolutely fuming. Gianluca Scamacca is finishing the season with 19 goals in all competitions. Souček is going to be back to his goal-scoring best, and get double figures. Bowen will chip in with 14 goals in all competitions, and Antonio will also still manage to get double figures, as well as scoring another goal from outside the box. Yes, I know. So, there we have it, the 100% accurate West Ham forecast for the 2022-23 season. Thanks for having me on.
It's like a family tree.